One of the first pieces of equipment you really want to buy and think about are a pair of climbing shoes, because these decide how well you climb. Footwork is the most important part of climbing. So you're often, when you go to buy a pair of shoes, you're sort of offered this type of shoe, which is a beginner shoe. You can get these in lace-up or in Velcro versions, but they're very basic and you quickly find that you probably have outgrown them. And what you really need to do is choose a shoe that fits your foot properly. So you've got lace-ups, you've got Velcro, you've got technical, you've got non-technical, you've got board-lasted, which means it's quite flat and your toes aren't going to scrunch up so much. But it's actually the scrunching of that toe that makes it more important with climbing. So for instance, if you want to put your foot on something small, if your foot is wobbling about in your shoe, then your foot won't be able to stay on that hole and it will roll off. So the idea is that your foot is nice and secure. Comfortably tight is a good way of looking at it. If you can keep your shoe on the whole climbing session, then it's too loose for you. And if there are baggy bits in the shoe, so for instance this one is way too big for me, but it will give you an idea. They've got lots of bagginess here, and even if I tighten it up, you can see it's wrinkly, and if I try and put my foot on a small hold, then it's not going to stay in position. Whereas if we look on this one, it's not quite as technical as this shoe, but it's a little bit more of a struggle to get it on. But you can see my knuckles of my toes here, and the tighter I tighten it, the better security I'll get on the foothold. Okay, and so you get this lovely feel of tightness. It's not unbearable. I could do a climb in that and then I would have to take it off. We've got two pairs of technical shoes. This is a 5'10" pair of technical shoes with onyx rubber soles, stealth rubber soles. And then you have a more technical shoe here, which is a Scarpa, and you can see that the angle is different. This is pointing downwards, so we're looking at a much harder, you climb harder grades with this type of shoe. And you've got rubber going around the back so that you can heel hook, bits of rubber here so you can toe hook, so it's a much more technical shoe. But it's down to the fit of your foot. It's no good somebody recommending a shoe for you and saying, oh, you should try such and such a shoe because it's amazing, if it doesn't fit your foot. Some people have broad, wide feet, some people have long, thin feet. I, for instance, have hardly any arch, so I tend to go for a longer shoe. Try and search for as much information as you can about your shoe, because often when you go to a shoe shop, a climbing shoe shop, you're going to find that people don't have as much knowledge as you expect them to have. And these are for rock climbing, they're not for alpine climbing, they're just for rock climbing, so climbing on rock. So they're not great on wet grass or rocky slopes or when it's raining when you're climbing.